Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, please repeat. We are chanting Shloka 2 of Upadesa-prakasika. Atyādhāra prayāsasya prajalpo niyamagraha janasangasya lolyam cha shadbhir bhakti vinashyati. Atyādhāra, overeating, too much collecting. Prayasa, over endeavoring. Cha, and prajalpaha, idle talk. Niyama, rules and regulations. Agraha, too much attachment to, or agraha, too much neglect of. Janasangaha, association with worldly minded person. Cha, and lolyam, ardent longing or greed. Cha, and shadbihi, by these six. Bhaktihi, devotional service. Vinashyati, is destroyed. Yet the second shloka of Upadesa-prakasika says, once devotional service is spoiled, when he becomes too entangled in the following six activities. First, eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required. Second, over-endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain. Third, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters. Fourth, practicing the scripture rules and regulation only for the sake of following them, and not for the sake of spiritual advancement. Or rejecting the rules and regulations of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically. 5. Associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. And 6. Being greedy for mundane achievements. So these are the six activities which spoil devotional service. This is a heavy warning given. We have a desire to advance in bhakti. We want to become pure devotees. We want to develop love for Krishna. So first instruction was given, Vācavegam, Manasakrodavegam, Jīvavegam, Udarapasthavegam. We have to live life. We have to eat, we have to communicate, we have to deal with people, with community, with society, with everyone. So these are some rules that we should avoid in dealings. Okay, we have to eat, but eating more than required, collecting more funds than required, talking unnecessarily about mundane things, associated with mundane people. All these things, all these six particularly listed here, they have to be avoided. So here Srila Prabhupada's purport will go through and see what Srila Prabhupada says. Point 1, Prabhupada makes immediately at the beginning of the purport that human life is meant for plain living and high thinking. Plain living and high thinking. This is a very deep statement. Plain living means we are not this body. Live, work to maintain the body. But the high thinking means that what is the goal of all this living? Live to realize the goal, to become devotee of the Lord. This is a proverb which Karmis also use. They also use plain living and high thinking. But they are thinking, my life is better sense gratification than yours. They use the same proverb in one farm community, where they say, you fools, you're working in the cities. Well, you're plain living, we grow our own organic, high thinking, and we are better enjoying life in the village than you in the city. But that's not what Prabhupada means. Even karmists could figure out this much, that life, sattvic life in village is better than the city, stressful city life. But still, they do not know the higher goal of life. Nate vidu svarta gatim hi Vishnu. They do not know that Vishnu is the goal of life. So here, the first sentence immediately hits you that focus on goal of life. And don't get overindulged about this body and the senses and the eating and the sleeping. If all life is just how to get money, how to eat and sleep nicely, how to get good house, how to, get good facilities for the body, and what is the difference between us and animals then? No? What is the point? Or you are living in a nice house and dog is sleeping outside in some, wooden house. What's the difference? Activity is same, sleeping is the same. Or we are eating nice restaurant and dog is eating. What is the difference? The activity is same, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. So this is not the goal of life. The goal of life is to realize God. So here, then Prabhupada draws attention that first the facts of life. What is the fact of life? All conditioned living beings are under control of Lord's third energy. Now this is one point that Srila Prabhupada preached so much in his books. As much as he said that we should chant Hare Krishna, or as much as he said that we are not this body, he said, you are under control. We are under control. This is really something that somehow or other in illusion you can't realize. Perhaps that's why it's called illusion. That you don't realize you are under control. But you are under control. You have no choice. We are under control. Nobody asks you, where you like to take birth. Prabhuji catalog is here. Choose the country, choose the parents, choose the body. Nobody asks you, you are forced. You are forced, you are placed in. And you are going to be taken out whenever your time is over. Ring, ring, ring. But I didn't finish my plans. Thank you, try again. Game over. No? We will be kicked out of the body. We have no control over it. You have no control of growth of your own hair. What to speak of controlling your life, where it is going? So this is something that people have to acknowledge. They have to see this around themselves. Then only they will get some impetus. Okay, let me do something with life. Let me serve God and surrender to His will and stick His laws I will follow. I want to get free from this karma. I want to get free from suffering. I want to get free from repeated birth and death. Prabhupada speaks so much that this is part of his strategic preaching. Whenever he preaches, first, you are under control. This is so much stress. We are not stressing it so much, but you take notes from every Prabhupada's purport in Bhagavatam or Gita or conversation, and you will see Prabhupada use this so many times. Immediately, he will tell in conversation, you are conditioned, you have no choice. What will science help you? Can they stop that? Oh, they can help it. Medical science is it. What they are doing, prolonging life means prolonging suffering. It pins you down. These are the facts of life. Alright, what are these? Here you go. The conditioned living beings are under control of Lord's third energy. What is the third energy? Material energy, Mahamaya. Three primary energies or potencies. What are the three potencies? Antaranga Shakti, internal potency. Who is under internal potency? Prabhupada writes in purports, Mahatmas. Tatastha Shakti, that's us, marginal potency, Jiva. And Bahiranga Shakti, external potency, Duratmas. So, in purport, if you read the purport, you will understand what I'm talking about. Jivatmas, or atomic living entity, must remain under the control of either the eternal or external potency. This is called Tatastha Shakti. Tatastha Shakti means marginal. We are spirit soul. But we have no power of God to control Maya. Rather, Maya is controlling us. Daivi Hesha Gunamai, Mama Maya Duratyaya. Mama Maya. Krishna said this Maya is my energy. Krishna empowered external, inferior energy to control, to entrap superior energy. Jiva is aparayam itastvanyam, prakritim vidime param. Jiva is para energy. Bhumi apo nalovayu khamar budevacha ahankaritim bitam prakriti ashtada. This is inferior energy, material energy. Param, superior energy is Jiva. How Jiva gets entrapped into Maya? Daivi Yesha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratya. Bhagavan empowers her. Bhagavan gives Shakti to Maya to bewilder us. Why? That is the information. because of our own desires, to enjoy, to be separate from Lord, to imitate the Lord, then we got under the Maya's influence. So, Jiva has to work under some energy. That is called the Tatastha Shakti. Either Jiva works into spiritual or works into material. But Jiva is always under influence of Lord's energy. So here, this is the, Prabhupada gives example, shloka, he quotes, Mahatmanas Mahabharata, Daivim Prakriti Macha. Daivim Prakriti means Mahatmas, they work under Daivi Prakriti, under the Antaranga Shakti, spiritual organs. Asanoprita, those who are not deluded, the great souls, deluded. The great souls are under the protection of divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. So then Prabhupada gives the definition of Mahatma. Only when person gratifies the senses of the Supreme Lord can be he called Mahatma or broad-minded person. It reminds you of something? Mahatma Gandhi, Prabhupada criticized. Mahatma Gandhi. That Mahatma, and then you are doing politics. You are fasting to achieve political gain. This is described by Rajagun in Bhagavad Gita. He didn't, people call Gandhi Mahatma. But Prabhupada said, according to definition of Mahatma, he is not Mahatma. And this is very painful. If you preach this in India, people are very upset. Will be upset with you. Why you are criticizing the father of the nation? But the point is that we are speaking the philosophical truth, reality, that what is real Mahatma. This is the definition here. Only when person gratifies the senses of Supreme. What is this gratifying senses to Supreme? Any shloka anybody reminds? What is that? Yeah, what is it? You say? Yeah, how it starts? Sarvabhādi nirmuktam tat paramidvana nirmalam rishikena rishikena sevanam bhaktir uchyate. Sevanam bhaktir uchyate. The devotional service means engaging one's senses in satisfying the senses of the Supreme. And this is what delivers one. Then one works under the Daivi Prakriti. Otherwise, Duratma. Opposite of Mahatma, Duratma. Cripple-minded person. Always engage in satisfying their senses. Sometimes expand their activities in order to do good for others through some ism, like nationalism, humanitarianism, altruism, extended sense gratification, from personal to communal to social. Prabhupada said, here, the simply materialistic people who do not know that the goal of life is to realize God, what do? They simply go for sense gratification. But what about people who are doing welfare works and communists who want equal to everyone, and altruists and welfare workers and all the aids they want to provide to affected people? These are all extended sense gratification. These are all actually ultimately for our own pleasure. How is it? How to explain to the karmics that I'm helping people who are poor and sick and who are suffering. How you call it selfishness? How you call it sense gratification? What would be explanation?
They get a pleasure from doing it.
Exactly. The happiness is binding factor for people in Sattva. If you remember Bhagavad Gita, what binds you? In Sattva is also a material mode. It also binds you. How it binds you? By happiness. I'm not just running around just for my own sense. I help people. I like to be with people. I have empathy for their suffering, and I do something. I bring some medicines, I bring some clothes, I arrange job for them. I educate sex workers to give up that abominable job. I help AIDS affected people, and they feel good and they enjoy it. But they are doing what is pleasing to them. For their own pleasure they are doing it. They enjoy it, they like it. This is not for pleasure of Krishna. What is it? It's extended sense gratification. Though it is subtle, it's not so harmful like those pleasures in Tamaguna, Rajaguna, that you harm others and exploit others. That's a different thing. But ultimately it's a dry cow dung or wet cow dung. Which one is better? It's a cow dung, ultimately. So it's a material activity which binds one to material world. Then it's not going to help us come out of material. You may go to heaven, come back. Shinai punya martya lokam vishanti. Then we can fall down to material. Okay, so here, Prabhupada gives definition of Daivi Prakriti. Refer to the control of the internal potency or pleasure potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This pleasure potency is manifested as Srimati Rādhā-ramaṇa or her expansions, Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. So this is the Bhakti. Bhakti is run under the guidance of Srimati Rādhā-ramaṇa. Vidyavana Jivana, that's explained in Shikshashtaka first sloka. And Mahamaya, whose business is to subject them to influence of threefold miseries. So these are the two potencies. That spiritual potency will always guide you, bless you, inspire you, engage you, involve you in Krishna service. Mahamaya will always bewilder us and put us in trouble that we forget Krishna. That we Maya, what is it? Why did you do that, Prabhu? Maya. I was in Maya. No. So here the Maya now is explaining how Maya influences by Adi-daivika klesha, sufferings caused by demigods such as droughts, earthquakes, storms, elementary difficulties, and it's going on. If you see the news sometimes, for the sake of preaching, not for the sake of prajalpa, wasting time on the news, but we got the news, whether you read it or not, people will tell you, the storms, the hurricanes, the tsunamis, the volcanoes, the cold, it's tremendous cold in USA. People die frozen on the road, outside their house. People are dying. In India you can't imagine somebody dies because of cold weather. But here we hear, sometimes people die of hot weather, correct? Sometimes too hot and elder people. Gone, correct? It happens. So these are the Maya's kleshas. Maya has a trishul. Durga has a trishul. One is adhyatmika klesha, adhibhautika klesha, adhidavika klesha. So adhibhautika klesha, suffering is caused by other living entities like insects, enemies, mothers-in-law. Adhyatmika klesha, suffering caused by one's own body and mind, such as physical and mental infirmities. No? Sometimes mind kills you. Mind kills the person, he gets sick, he goes mad, he goes mental completely. Mind is convinced into something and goes off the track. No? Sometimes we can see mind can cause so much trouble. So many troubles because of the mind. No? And body. Atma refers to the body and the mind also. So body also causes so many troubles. So here, shloka is quoted. Daiva bhutatma hetavaha. The conditioned soul subjected to the three miseries by the control of external energy suffer various difficulties. The main problem confronting the conditioned soul is the repetition of birth, old age, disease, and death. These are the problems caused by Maya. These are the problems we are facing working under the Mahamaya. In the material world, Prabhupada makes point, one has to work for maintenance of the body and soul. But how can one perform such a work in a way that is favorable for execution in Krishna consciousness? Now you can see what a paragraph, what an introduction Prabhupada given, just to tell us, look at our position in material world. We are toasted, roasted, we are really smashed by Maya here. It's all the time, just every morning we wake up. There was a good joke, no? Prabhupada was walking in the morning with the disciples in different places in USA or all over the world. Wherever he would walk in the morning. So one morning they're walking, and some neighbor came out from his house. So neighbor told to Prabhupada, "Good morning." So Prabhupada replied, "Good morning." So they were surprised. No? Usually Prabhupada would say Hare Krishna, but this time he said good morning. So they're walking. After they came back to temple, and Prabhupada started giving class. And he said, to Today on morning walk, one gentleman wishes good morning. Good morning means nothing bad happened so far. That means good morning. So far no tsunami came in. That was Prabhupada's comment on good morning. We wish each other. Wish you all the best. Why you are wishing all the best if everything is good? It means there is trouble on every step. Padam padam yad vipadam natesham. Therefore wish you all the best. No? Wish you speed recovery. Because you broken your legs. Therefore I am wishing you speed recovery. No? Where are you going? Exam. Wish you all the best. What about you? Looking for job. Wish you all the best. No? So this our wish is simply wishing. Hare Krishna. So here you go. You see how much energy Prabhupada took. All paragraph just explained to us. Look, this is called, what is called that on GSP? Your location. Click. Zoom in on your location. You know, where you are in material world. Adhyatmik, adibhautik, adidayik. Okay, this is your location. Now what to do now? How to act? How to come out? Okay, so here you go. How to come out. We have to act, we have to work for the maintenance of body. But how can one perform such a work in a way that's favorable for execution of Krishna consciousness? So avoid these 6. This is how to act. Okay, atyahara. Atyahara, overeating or too much collecting. Prabhupada gives Krishna conscious solution. Everyone requires possession, such as food, grains, clothing, money, and other things necessary for maintenance of the body. But one should not collect more than necessary for his actual basic needs. If this natural principle is followed, there will be no difficulty in maintaining the body. Now this is something amazing, that people for thousands of years they could understand this, that for peaceful life, for peaceful mind, one should have food grains. One should have enough food. Food is first. House and clothes. These 3 are basic necessities. And people work on land, build a mud cottage, get some clothing, produce themselves or whatever simple was there. And the main thing is how to get grains, food to eat. Nowadays, people have so many valuable things in their houses, but the stock grains is minimum. They don't keep. This is something you daily purchase. So many valuables we have. If you sell all the things from your house, so much money you get. But what is the value of your grains? Hardly you have 10 kg of rice, 5 kg of dal. Huh? But you see how things are drifted, that we have so many unnecessary things in the house, but the valuable, life-sustaining substances, food, basic things, we don't have. Huh? We depend on others or this and that. And our life, we are not educated from childhood that first thing, human, Mr. Human, Homo sapiens, so-called, to live, you need food grains. How many of us can grow our own food here in this room? Raise your hand that you are able to grow your own food. Huh? You know how to plant wheat? You know how to plant rice? Oh, you are an engineer, educated person? Just see, Homo sapiens, they don't know how to grow their own food. And then what is your education? What is our education? You understand how we are cheated and bewildered by this modern education and by this modern society. We do not know how to grow our own food. That means you depend on somebody else. That means you are a slave of somebody. You are not free person. You are not peaceful person. You are always in anxiety because your food depends on somebody else. You have to earn money to buy it. And if stock is not there, what you will do? Stock is there. Stock is there till the war starts. Once the war starts, if war is there, there is no stock. Government won't give you stock. They'll keep for army. They'll give minimum. What do you think I'm talking some scary story? See what happened in Cambodia. When war started, 500,000 people died by bombs. 2 million died by starving. No food. No food. No wartime. Nobody works in the fields because in fields you got shot. Big problem. And we are so much misguided. We are not trained to grow our own food. You have no right. You have no land. Nobody's giving you land. They're giving you space on the 15th story of the skyscraper. This is papers for your flat. You are the owner of the flat. In the sky. What do I do with that? You have no land, man. You have sky. You occupy the sky. You are occupying birds' space. You have to go to Garuda for registry office. He is the municipality for that. He is the registry office, Tahsildar. Is illusion. We are cheated like anything. Huh? We are human beings who do not know how to grow their own food. After living according to science for thousands of years, the humans are present on the planet. Still we didn't learn how to grow our own food. Then what did you learn in the school? What did you learn? Money. How to learn money. No? And then they cheat. Instead of buying grains, hey, where are you going? Buying grains. Forget grains. Look at this, look at it. They bewilder you into sense gratification. And then anxiety, month-to-month anxiety. What will you? Then they cheat. You must wear like this. Why should you wear simple dress? Buy expensive dress. Look nice, prestige. This. They introduce so many things. Nothing to do with life. Nothing to do with life. Where I have yellow shirt or blue shirt, what does it matter? How does it matter? Whether my shirt has like this or is like this, what does it matter? Matters it covers the body. That's what it matters, to warm me up. No? That I don't go around like dog, without any clothes. No? What does it matter? Fashion, produce, this company, that company. Crazy. And then for one shirt, price goes $1,000, $10,000. What is the most expensive sari that you can purchase? 1 lakh? 1 lakh for sari. You know how much rice you can get for 1 lakh? You have to spend another 1 lakh for go down for that rice. Yeah? You see how we are cheated, we are bluffed, we are fooled, we are bewildered, we are in Maya. That is what it is. So here, Prabhupada says, one should not collect more than necessary for his actual basic needs. What is actual basic needs? I want to eat rice, sambar, rasam, payasam, fill my belly. We are not asking, eat microscopic with that achman. Okay, this is lunch. No, eat nicely. No problem. Land is providing, cows are giving extra milk. No problem. What is the problem? Okay, so here this is the advice. And then what is it? If this natural principle is followed, there will be no difficulty in maintaining the body. According to nature's arrangement, living entities lower on the evolutionary scale do not eat or collect more than necessary. Look at the animals. Where is the go down for the dog? Sometimes dogs bury some bone under the earth, I've seen that. But this is like, really temporary arrangement. His belly is full, so extra he cannot eat. So he buried one bone under the earth, and next 2 hours he is restless when he will dig it out. Okay. So, but animals, they eat by the nature's arrangement. How much they can eat and they go. In the animal kingdom, there is generally no economic problem or scarcity of necessities. We don't find that in animal kingdom suddenly they have nothing to eat and this, unless man interferes in their fields. We cut the forests and then naturally animals have no place to eat. But that is not natural, that is unnatural arrangement. But then, otherwise, everything is fine. How many monkeys are living on Yerkot? No? They are not standing in front of this government office to get 1 rupee rice. Social, Free rice. Government is giving free rice because they want your vote. So they give you free rice. I don't know why it's black color, but anyway, it's a free rice. So, here Prabhupada gives an example. If a bag of rice is placed in public place, birds will come to eat few grains and go away. A human being, what they will do? Eat and collect the bag also. It's amazing, isn't it? Human being, however, will take away the whole bag, collecting more than necessary. Atyahara. Now the entire world is suffering because of it. There are some statistics. I didn't want to go and strangle you too much with those statistics, but there is some statistic that 80% of grains is held by 20% of population. You understand what I said? 80% of total grains available on this planet is in private property of 20% of people. That means that some people took somebody else's grains. You understand what I mean? That 20% of people means some rich people, rich countries, they take charge of a grain stock which could feed 80% of population. And then they demand. Then they put the prices. Then they dictate the economy. Then they create artificial growth, artificial scarcity of food to maintain prices. We heard that. The train of rice was sent into the sea so that rice price doesn't fall down on the market. They did same thing in USA with coffee. Famous history examples are there, They're artificial. Sometimes this year, no rice, scarcity. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we had dāsa, 200 rupees, 220 rupees dāsa. Scarcity of dāsa, scarcity of dāsa. They are playing with us. Why? Because we depend on them. Because we do not grow our own food, we fools. We are not growing our own food, we are not independent. Prabhupada says you grow your own food, we make our own communities and grow our own food, and then we are independent. We do not have to depend on the government. We don't care what is the rupee compared to the dollar, whether it's going up or going down. I have 200 kg. How much rice you have in your house? 750 kg of rice is in the house. What does he care whether Trump is trumping on his trumpet, He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He has 750 kg. Call Trump and all cabinet to come for lunch. No problem. Yeah? You see, and mind is peaceful. I have rice. Now whether his kurta is blue color or pink color, that he will decide later, First thing is, sapar. Correct? Next, kalyana. This is how life goes. Take care of family. Build a house. No, this is what it is. These are basic needs. Correct? Okay. So all world is suffering because some people collect more than necessary. Prayas. Over-endeavoring. Krishna conscious solution Prabhupada gives immediately in the perfect. Collecting and eating more than necessary also causes prayas, or unnecessary endeavor. Unnecessary endeavor. By God's arrangement, anyone in any part of the world can live very peacefully. If he has some land and milk cow, that can solve all economic problems. You see, Krishna consciousness is not just dry philosophy. Actually, we have solution. But Prabhu, today farmers are very poor, they are committing suicide. They are committing suicide because government is spending 500 crores to send firecrackers, satellite in the sky, and we have no water because government has no money to connect pipe from Godavari to the city, or from Kaveri, or from Krishna river, or from Narmada. The gallons and gallons of water are going into the ocean. Government doesn't want to put one pipe to give to farmers water, but they are very eager to firecracker 500 crores in one shot. 500 crores go. 500 crores for one small tiny satellite. Why? Prestige. So they can see newspapers. India has launched a satellite. Who is launching satellites? US, France, Japan, Germany, and India and Russia. We are among 5. Prestige of the country, national pride. National pride, and farmers override, they're dying. They're dying. They're committing suicide. They have no water. So invest in water. Look at India, from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. When you travel by train, what do you see? What do you see left and right? Fields, land. Even Mother Teresa, when she came to India, she said, I heard so much India is poor country. So much land. How can India be poor country? How is it possible that India is poor? India is not poor country. It's mismanaged country. It's exploited by first British and then everyone else. It's exploited. How is it possible that rice is 40 rupees, a decent rice, 40 rupees kg, correct? Cheap rice, 15 rupees, correct? Upma rice, 7 rupees. When you cook, becomes paste like up. Yeah? Why 40 rupees rice? How much costs you actually to produce rice? How much actually costs you to grow your own rice?
Good quality rice.
15
to 20 rupees rice.
Okay, good quality rice. For example, bullet rice.
15 rupees.
15 rupees cost him if he produces himself. Okay. And if he is actually producing it year after year, it will be cheaper and cheaper. Correct? 3 acres of land, 4 acres of land, you can produce your own food. Opulence. And that feeling, this is our own rice. We are going to throw it, you work for it. You know. Now fellow is living on the plate, half is eating, half is living on the plate. Throwing. Because you don't understand what is the value of that rice, what is the value of grains. No feeling. And who knows what are you eating? God knows what they are putting nowadays in our food, no? You have grown your own, at least you know what you eat. Milk, what they are stuffing in the cows. They are stuffing cows with antibiotics. It goes to the milk. All kinds of chemicals they are stuffing, Milk is not milk, food is not food, vegetables not vegetables. The Ayurvedic doctor told us that follow strict diet and eat so much vegetables. And be careful when you go to shop. Whatever is big, looking nice and shining, don't buy these vegetables and fruits. These are definitely artificial. He said, whatever little different shape, a little dull color and not fully round, but little bit this shape, these you buy, these are natural ones. This is amazing, amazing instruction. No? We are all cheated. We are cheated left and right from the childhood. We are cheated. As soon as you take birth, they cheat. What is the goal of life and how to live life? Farmers are putting lands, taking loans from the bank to educate their children to become engineers and doctors. They're losing they're cheated, they're losing their own lands, they're losing their own source of their food, and then they become dependent on society. Then they are manipulated by politicians this way, that way, this way, that. All their life is ruined by credits, by loans, by chit funds, by this, by that. All our life is ruined because we are befooled. Our land is taken from us. We can't grow our own food. And even if we have land, we do not know how to grow the food. We're simply thinking we'll make some business, real estate business from our agriculture field. Turn all field into the concrete jungles, then what you will eat? People will eat each other. This is what is described in Bhumi Gita 12th Canto Bhagavatam. At the end of Kali Yuga, people will eat each other. Bon appetit. Alright, so here. Thank you for watching. To watch, I will proceed. Fortunately, man has been given higher intelligence for the cultivation of Krishna consciousness or the understanding of God's own relationship with Him, one's relationship with Him, and the ultimate goal of life, love of God. Unfortunately, so-called civilized man, not caring for God realization, utilizes his intelligence for getting more than necessary and simply eat to satisfy the tongue. So-called intelligent men misuse their intelligence to produce many unnecessary and unwanted things. Now Prabhupada gives some list of unnecessary and unwanted things. Factories, slaughterhouses, brothels, liquor shops are opened. If people are advised not to collect too many goods, eat too much, or work unnecessarily to possess artificial amenities, they think that they are being advised to return to primitive way of life. Correct? If you tell, what is your father? Engineer. Oh, very good. And doctor. Oh, very good. And you're farmer. Sorry, I feel so sorry. Farmer. And what is your doctor eating? What he is eating? If my father doesn't give him rice, what he will eat? Let him eat his pills. What will the engineer eat? Bolts and nuts. What he will eat? He's eating. He's living on cost of my father who is farmer, and you are mocking on it. You see how demoniac civilization. What is real value? They say, this is not value. What is dharma? Adharma. And what is false and bluff and nonsense? That is promoted as a great. And we are all following. And India wants to become like a West. What is our goal? One politician said, we want to see Delhi like Singapore. Singapore, nature, chandalas, dog eaters, snake eaters, cat eaters. That you want to become. Why you want to follow Chinese? My goodness. Why? No, but you see, this is here. That so much social pressure. What is that? Return to primitive way of life. You know? Generally, people do not like to accept plain living and high thinking. Even our own devotees, they do not like to go to the farm and live at the farm. They think farm means holiday house, nice in the fields, and butterflies are flying, and nice flowers will grow. But we inside, current must be there, water filter must be there, AC must be there, TV must be there, internet must be there, my cell phone. How to charge a cell phone? Prabhu, cell phone. Cell phone is what? It's your heart. What is it? I'm plucking your heart by pulling cell phone from your pocket, Baba. What is your problem, you know? Complete panic. Cell phone, no cell phone. And toilet. This no flushing toilet. Why not? Flush it out, no problem. Where's the problem? Get bucket of water and flush it out. No running water. Why not running water? River is there, water is running. What's your problem? No running water. It's crazy how we are addicted, how we are cheated. One devotee was arguing with Krishna Kirtan Prabhu, who was propagating Varnashram and farm living. He said, but Prabhuji, in my house, simply open tap, water is running. There you have to go. I came to your farm, you have to go 100 feet and fetch the water. He said, yes, that's true. I have to go 100 feet and fetch my own water. That is true. How far you go to your job every morning? Oh Prabhu, Bangalore is very difficult. Takes at least 1 hour. 1 hour on bike up, 1 hour on bike down, so you can have your tap running water. I go only 100 feet. You understand? He pays for it. It's not that tap came from the sky. You are paying for it. You are paying for water, you are paying for current, you are paying for food. And how much you are paying for rice? 5 times price more, 10 times price more. And who knows what is in that rice, what kind of chemicals they put in. No? So you see how we are cheated. And he thinks this is prestige. 1 hour in the traffic jam of the Bangalore. But it is Bangalore traffic, huh? It's prestige. How we are cheated, my goodness, you know. And where is your farm? Karumandurai. Karu what? Karumandurai. Karu what? Is it on Google? Is it on Google? No, it's not there. We don't want to be seen by government, you know. It's not a horrible thing, you see. What facilities you have? We have life facility. We can produce food. What about you? You can't. You can't produce food. You are not even human, Mr. Homo sapiens. You can't produce your own food. Who are you? Animal. Animals, they cannot produce food. They jump on each other. They are waiting, bounce on. This is what it is, modern economic system. Animalistic competition. You can't produce your own food. You are not human being. All right. So, Prabhupada gives Krishna conscious solution. Those who believe that this higher intelligence is meant to attain a higher state should follow the instruction of Vedic literatures. By taking such instruction from higher authorities, one can actually become situated in perfect knowledge and give real meaning to life. This is what it is. Vedas give us how to live life. Live out from the land, keep a cow, live peaceful life, free from stress and anxiety. Simple life. You don't have to have so many gadgets and so many nonsense around yourself. And focus on Krishna. Chant Krishna's name, discuss Harikatha, absorb Mahabharata, Ramayana, Bhagavatam, and have purposeful life, meaningful life. So Prabhupada quotes Bhagavatam. Sutta Goswāmī describes proper human dharma and this is dharmasya hyapavargasya. All occupational engagement, dharma is certainly meant for ultimate liberation. Dharma is meant for moksha. Dharma is not that we go to temple to earn money. Why you go to temple? We are believers. We go to temple. And then what you ask the Lord? Money. You see, dharmasya hyapavargasya. Dharma is not meant that we go for Swargaloka, that we enjoy material benefits, that we ask Lord for material things. No. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, one who is engaged in ultimate occupational service, dharma, should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. Even if you get money, that should not be used vested for sense gratification. That should be invested for dharma. Okay. The first step in human civilization consists of occupational engagements performed according to the scriptural injunctions. What is Prabhupada talking about? Varnashram, Brahman's duty, Kshatriya's duty, Vaishya's duty, Shudra's duties. So what is the point? The point is everybody has to do some work according to what? Guna karma vibhagash. Chaturvarnam maya srishtam. Guna karma vibhagash. Everybody has some ability. Even now, if we split, okay, look, there is a festival coming home. We need people to do puja abhishek. Who will do? Immediately, in 5 minutes, we'll sort out people who can do that. Then, who will do with the class? Okay, who will lead the bhajan? Okay, who will cook? Who will cut? Who will wash the pots? Who will serve? Immediately, we have to segregate ourselves. Correct? And it's not that you put all papers in one big basket and pull up. Okay, today abhishek will be done by Padmanabh. Okay, today washing pots will be done by... It's not like that. We are looking what? Guna karma vibhagash. Krishna said. Krishna, we are following Gita. Guna karma. According to quality we engage people. Correct? And if somebody can develop quality, fine, great. No problem. It's a natural division. Even Communist Party who says all are equal. They have their director, they have secretaries, they have people running around putting their flags and sticking around, the people cleaning the room, and the people counting the money also. Correct? What is the vision? Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. They also have a vision. Everybody has a vision. Society has the vision. Chatur Varnya Maya Srishtam. Krishna said, I created society in the 4 divisions. Guna, by quality, karma, by their activity, by the work. So here, Prabhupada says, the higher intelligence of human beings should be trained to understand basic dharma. Means the brahmanas should know what is dharma. Then they can guide all society. Now, here Prabhupada gives example. In every society, Hindu, Christian, Hebrew, Mohammedan, Buddhist and so on, for without religion, human society is no better than animal society. The dharma must be present in the human society. Otherwise, dharma nahina, pashubhir samana. If no dharma in society, then we are like animals. Vipada pasha. So-called religion is aimed at material advancement. No? Because so many religions they propagate this. In USA, it's amazing. They have many of these evangelic churches, Protestant churches, which kind of, you might say, little modern churches. There's one particular church for the rich men. Only rich people can go to the church. And when they ask, why only rich people you are allowing? God bless you. You are rich. It's visible. It's visible. It's real. God did not bless you. You are poor. My goodness. This is really extreme. This is directly opposing the Bible when Jesus said that it's easier to push the camel through the ear of a needle than the rich man to go to the heaven. You heard that? Bible watcher. So-called religion aims at material advancement. So everybody who propagates, if you pray to our God, you will get this, you will get this. We heard the big banner in the city. Jesus cures kidneys. Dr. Jesus, he cures kidneys. That was interesting advertisement. No? So we also here in Vedas we have karma kanda also, no? If you do this, you'll get this. If you do this, you'll get good wife. If you do this, you'll get good job, labha, prosperity, money, Ganesh puja, Lakshmi puja, Sarasvatī puja, all 3 of them puja at once, Balaji puja, Satyanarayana puja. So many things are there offering the carrot, offering the material enjoyment. So-called religion, all so-called religion, meant for material advancement. True religion, however, instructs people to satisfy with the bare necessities of life while cultivating Krishna consciousness. Bare necessities. This is now bare necessities. When you say bare necessities, you can see picture husband and wife husband in coping and the stick and the, the shaved hair and long beard. But why not? If you read Mahabharata, in Satya Yuga, rishis live in the forest and they did austerities. Whatever Bhagavan given in the forest they ate. Fruits were there, they ate. No fruits, leaves they would eat. No leaves, roots they would eat. Nothing, no roots, they won't eat. But they will sit in meditation and focus on Bhagavan. As the Satya Yuga progresses, some rishis who find it difficult to live like this, they form themselves at the bottom of the mountains and hills, in the flat land. They form the village. First village was formed. And rishis from mountain says, alas, degradation has started. Why? Because they had to grow their own food. They will do extra work for maintaining the body. They made a house. Vishnu save us. They made a house. So much endeavor for the body. Others would live under the tree, in the cave. They won't do it. They won't do anything. No? Remember, who was that blessed to live long life? One rishi. What was his name? Lomaharshi. Huh? Lomaharshi Rishi. No, he was blessed to live long life. How long? Yeah. Huh? How many hairs on his body? Something like that, Every lifetime one hair will fall off from his body. How many hairs on the body? This many years he will live. And he was sitting on the bank of the river, chanting, meditating. And somebody asked, why don't you build a cottage to protect your life is short and not time to waste, so to practice self-realization. You see the aim, you see the answer, see how focused they were. So we think now it's great to pull up people from the city to village, this is great advancement. Then from village you have to pull them up to the forest. If I preach like this, nobody will come. But it's a fact, we have to tell the truth. This is why sannyasa is there. They may not go to forests. You can see how many times you read in Bhagavatam and Puranas that Yudhishthira went to the forest, Parikshit went out of the... Why? Because in forest you depend on God. You just don't work for the body. And still they lived. And because they were pious, Bhagavan would supply. Who is feeding elephants? Same Bhagavan, Sri Krishna, the flute player. No? Why he will not maintain devotees? No? So that is the concept, that minimize the bodily necessities and focus on the spiritual. And what happens when you shift to the land, to the farm? People become, they start eating better than before. Because this food is good, it's pure, it's nectar, It's as our Mukunda Nrsimha. Every time he comes from the farm to the temple, he complains. Your dal has no taste, your rice has no taste. I don't put any spices, but my dal is so tasty. It's opposite. People think we'll be starving now. They put us in farm. They give us little food like rats will eat. Not like that. Opulence is opulence actually. Better, tasty, healthy, more energy, more varieties. No? Previously all life you are cooking only rice. Every day white rice. Now look at Mukunda, what he is cooking. Ragi one day, another day samai, another day this rice, lamskas rice, black rice, white rice, govinda, this one, that one. So many things, so many varieties. How many varieties of dals he is using? No? So many things. It's opulent. It's not that don't be scared, something will happen. Most probably you'll get some more kgs, few extra. And then, what is the point? No? True religion instructs people to be satisfied by necessities of life while cultivating Krishna consciousness. Jivasya tattva jigyasa. The real purpose of life is to inquire about the absolute truth. Conclusion Prabhupada gives, if our endeavor, prayas, is not to inquire about the absolute truth, we will simply increase our endeavor to satisfy our artificial needs. Spiritual aspirants should avoid mundane endeavor. This is very nice. Okay, then Prabhupada talks. Rajal, I will talk. When we mix with a few friends, we immediately begin unnecessary talking, sounding just like a croaking toads. Examples Prabhupada gives. Newspapers, magazines, novels, solving cross puzzles, playing cards, fishing, watching television, and debate about useless social political schemes. All these and other frivolous activities are included in Prajalpa category. Krishna conscious solution, if we must talk, we should talk about Krishna consciousness movement. Means, why about movement? Why Prabhupada didn't say, simply talk about Krishna consciousness? Because he has a mission to spread it. Not only to talk about Krishna consciousness, but talk about Krishna consciousness movement. You want to talk something, talk how to spread this knowledge to others. No, he's a preacher, he's a Acharya of Sampradaya, he's focused in his service. No? He's preaching to us. You want to talk something, talk about this Krishna consciousness movement. No? So this is very interesting. Because it's not different talking about Krishna. There are some other quotes from Prabhupada, I just included here few. Mundane talks are also known as Prajalpa. In his Upadesa-prakasika, Śrīla Goswāmī mentions Prajalpa as one of the main impediments to devotional service. Lord Chaitanya instructed Sanatana Goswami, a devotee should avoid reading or hearing newspapers or mundane books that contain stories of love affairs between man and woman or subjects palatable to the senses. So this is Prabhupada's quote from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Because we get polluted, we get hearts full of material desires. Okay, this is about Prajalpa. Number 4, Janasanga. Prabhupada discussed. This is how comes in order in the purport. Refers to associating with persons not interested in Krishna consciousness. So what is Krishna conscious solution? Should try to strictly avoid association, live only in association with Krishna conscious devotees, Bhakta Sanivas, always engage in service of Lord in association with Lord devotees. And Prabhupada gives example that even karmis, they form various associations, societies, to achieve their purpose. Association with those engaged in similar line of business is very conducive to advancement in that business. If you want to run business, you have to go meet the business people. It is required. Materialistic persons form various associations and clubs to enhance their endeavors. Similarly, we have established International Society for Krishna Consciousness to give people an opportunity to associate with those who have not forgotten Krishna. So this is interesting how the way Prabhupada puts it. This movement is meant to give association to those who have forgotten Krishna by those who have not forgotten Krishna. Some more quotes are there. Now hear this. But Prabhuji, you are thinking not to associating devotees also so difficult to associate. They are like this, and devotees are like that, and devotees are like this, and devotees are like that, and better, conclusion is better to live with karmis. Correct? It's a foolish conclusion. Okay, here you go. Srila Prabhupada's quote for all those nonsense people who doesn't want to live with devotees. Even if one thinks that there are many pseudo-devotees, they are not even devotees, or non-devotees you call them, in the Krishna conscious society. Still, one should stick to the society. Prabhupada said, if one thinks the society members are not pure devotees, one can keep direct company with spiritual master. And if there is any doubt, one should consult the spiritual master. However, unless one follows the spiritual master's instruction concerning regulative principles and chanting and hearing the holy name of the Lord, one cannot become a pure devotee. One's mental compunction, one falls down. By associating with one devotees, one breaks the regulative principles and again falls down. Is it that good? It's difficult to live with devotees because devotees tell you, Prabhuji anartha, Prabhuji false ego, Prabhuji rajagun, Prabhuji tamagun, Prabhuji don't do like this, Prabhuji, Prabhupada said. No, it's pressure on us, it's a social pressure. And it's good pressure, this pressure is good. If you're helping me to advance in spiritual, that pressure is good. Correct? Silence. It's good, required. What you can do? Look how previously Vedic system was. Just remnants of Vedic system. In the village, I just spoke with Upeshwar Prabhu, who was grown up in the village in Andhra Pradesh. He said like that. There was a trouble in the village. One man did something which he should not do. He spoke to somebody's daughter and that should not be done. Privately, this way, that way, he took advantage of some service in their house and went on talking for 1 hour with somebody's daughter who is 27 years younger than him. And man is unmarried man. So, immediately report came to the elders of the village. And there is a place under the banyan tree where the elders would sit at evening time. He was brought in front of them. And they spoke. 7, 8 of them. They spoke to him. This is our culture. This is not our culture. This is what we follow for thousands of years. This what you did is breaking the rule. You stop this activity immediately. Otherwise you will be banned from the village. Now I say, but you ban him from the village means you threw him out of the village. Then what he will do? He said, no. Banning from the village doesn't mean throwing him out of the village. He can't move out of the village. That banning means no barber will come to your house, no washerman will come to your house, no support in marriage, no support in land, no support in you plow your own field, nobody will come and help you. You pluck your own peanuts, 3 acres yourself, nobody will come and help. You are banned, you are completely shut down by the village. You can't live, you can't function. There is a social pressure. And guess what? And people were good. People were good because they depended on village. You can't grow your own, you can't take care of your cows. You can't build your own house. Village comes and builds your house. All village comes together, taka, they build your mud house. Everything you depend on village. Now I have my salary. I don't give a fig who lives next to me and what do you say and who are you to tell me? I have my own money, my own independence. And now they're given money in the hand of women also. Now they are earning money. That means even family is broken. Previously at least women would depend on the husband and husband would depend on village. And village will depend on the king. And king will depend on the brahmanas. And brahmana depends on Krishna. And there is a clear link how to advance spiritually. And now what is it? Chain is broken. What do I care? What do I care what you say? I have my own money, my own income, don't give a fig. I don't give a fig for my father, I don't give for my neighbor, I don't give for my village, for caste. I do whatever I want to do. Correct? Is not this what is happening to us? See how we are not living according to the laws of God. And what is the result? We are befooled, deluded, we are suffering. Simply we are suffering. We are suffering and we are suffering. This is the result of our independence. Nonsense, no? And what is the result? Prabhupada said, one cannot become pure devotee. So whatever devotee, even neophyte devotee is devotee. Even space out devotee is better association than karma. No? Because if somebody is space out devotee, I have to all the time correct him. Correct? So I have to be Krishna conscious. It will help me, But karmic, he will be correcting me all the time. And try to convince me, better material life, better. Why? What is the problem? You chant Hare Krishna, stay home. What is the problem? What is the problem with TV? You watch Krishna conscious movies. And goes on like this, religion goes like this. No? Why only this temple? There are so many temples. Why only this God? So many gods. Why only this mantra? So many. This is what it is. Alright. Here, Srila Prabhupada now quotes from Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Thakur's Anuvṛtti. This is right in the purport in Prabhupada's book. Atyahara, again explains from the beginning. Too much endeavor to acquire knowledge on the part of mental speculators or dry philosophers falls within category atyahara. You hear this definition of atyahara. No? Unnecessary studying so many philosophical books which may not be conducive for the bhakti. And we have seen this. At the beginning, few people learn some Sanskrit and this book, that book, this book. They start commenting on Prabhupada's purpose. Prabhupada could tell like this. In 2 years, reading some Sanskrit books, he started commenting on Prabhupada's purpose. He was a victim of Maya. Unnecessary. Too much unnecessary knowledge which is not aimed at bhakti. We study Prabhupada's books. We study Bhagavatam. We study all bhakti granthas. These books which will invoke bhakti in us. But now that we have to become pandits and we have to study all the, Agama Shastras and this and that. May not be. Some of us can study. Some Pandits are needed. Some learned people are needed. But not that all of us we have to accumulate so much, particularly that knowledge of moksha, impersonal conclusions, and all these things. Some people are like that. So here, too much endeavor to acquire knowledge on the part of mental speculators or dry philosophers falls within category of collecting more than needed. Then, philosophical speculators to write volumes on books on dry philosophy, the way to Krishna consciousness. How many books we have? How many books are printed? How many trees are cut to print useless books, useless literatures? No? Then, works of karmis who write volumes of books on economic development. These are also atyahara. No? And that also we have seen. What is the book? How to become a millionaire. Bestseller. Many people buy the book. Definitely one who wrote the book became a millionaire. Others, they lost few dollars. It's amazing, no? Then, those who have no desire for Krishna consciousness, who are simply interested in possessing more and more material things, either in the shape of scientific knowledge or monetary gain. This is all atyahara. Karmis labor to accumulate more and more money, do not even know what is their position, what is their position going to be next life. No? So this is foolishness. This is so much endeavor. How much karma endeavors? How much some people work? Excuse me. If you see how much some people work, we don't do, as a devotees, we should do more work. But we are not working so hard as karmis. So much is working, early morning he travels, pushes, heavy physical work, heavy noise, heavy sound. Go to the people who are doing borewells, digging borewells. You know that truck, how noise is making. You know, all day you're hearing that. Fellow is tired, sleeps under the truck. Truck is running, he, Mahatamas, completely sleeping under the truck, He comes home and gets few hundred rupees, drinks half on the way, because you can't be normal person and doing this, borewell digging, and goes home, so much labor, and when he sees devotees in Harinam, he's mocking. Hare Krishna, what a fools he thinks. He thinks we are the fools. But he's the fool. He is the fool. He is the cheated by man. So much endeavor. What is the result? Nothing. Repeated birth and death. Alright. Hare Krishna. So here, Prabhupada gives example. Once a great karmi accumulated vast fortune for his sons and grandsons. But later, according to karma, he took his birth in cobbler's house, located near the building which in his previous life he had constructed for his children. You heard that? Huh? It so happened that when this very cobbler came to his former house, his former sons and grandsons bat him with shoes. So he earned so much money, built house for his children. According to karma, he took birth nearby as a cobbler, and when he visited his previous house, which he built for his children, his old children, according to karma, beaten him with the shoes. So this is Prabhupada exposed by a simple, jolly, comic example. Actually, the fact of life, that we so much endeavor do, and we don't gain any benefit. We don't gain the result. We are not getting the result to stop repeated birth and death. So here Prabhupada concludes, unless the karma, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta concludes, unless the karmis and jnanis become interested in Krishna consciousness, they will simply continue to waste their life in fruitless activities. And this is what we see. All the world is running for material gain, which is temporary. Niyamagraha, niyama-agraha. Accepting some of the scripture rules and regulations for immediate benefit, as utilitarians advocate. Accepting some scripture rules and regulations for immediate benefit means they accept Shastra which are speaking about, thank you, Hare Krishna. They accept Shastras which are speaking about material benefit. Okay. Utilitarian, see? Practical. Come on. What do I gain? What do I gain? You chant Hare Krishna. What will I get? You see, if I do this mantra, I'll get good business. If I do this puja, I'll get money. I'll get prestige. I'll get fame. I'll get success. No? What I get by chanting Hare Krishna? So this is called niyama agraha. Being attached to those rules for immediate profit, for material gain. No? And then niyama agraha, neglecting shastric rules and regulations that are meant for spiritual development. And then you neglect real rule for bhakti. And this is amazing. One devotee did not want to wake up Mangalarati. So one day we tolerate, second day we tolerate, third day, come on. We told him even first day, Prabhuji, Mangalarati. Yeah. So after 3 days, not coming. We spoke to him, Prabhuji. I mean, Srila Prabhupada said, want to attend Mangalarati, it's good for consciousness, good for our spiritual advancement, you know. It's Brahma Muhurta, you want to chant in the morning, you want to see the deities, you know. Apart from ruining all atmosphere of ashram, you know. No. Ayurveda says that one should evacuate after the sunrise, 7 o'clock. So I'll go toilet only after 7, according to Ayurveda. And it's good for my health, Prabhu. So I'll not take bath before 7 o'clock. So I'll not come on the land. So this is called niyama agraha. That you follow some rule which is inferior and neglect rule which is good for bhakti. This is called following something unnecessary and neglecting what is necessary. Correct? So now he is Ayurvedic doctor, but he is not chanting Hare Krishna. Success. He fall down. He is not following anyone. You understand? He was learned. He knew Ayurvedic shlokas. No? So you understand what is the problem, what happened. So this is what is explained. Okay, Krishna conscious solution. Here, the word agraha means eagerness to accept. Agraha means failure to accept. Krishna conscious solution. Those interested in Krishna consciousness should not be eager to accept rules, regulations for economic advancement. Yet, they should very faithfully accept scripture rules and regulations for the advancement of Krishna consciousness. They should strictly follow the regular principles of avoiding illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. Janasana, association of only minded people. Here, Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura says, avoid association with Mayavadis who simply blaspheme Vaishnavas. No? Bhukti-kamis. Avoid people who are interested in material happiness. Mukti-kamis. Avoid those who desire to merge into existence of formless absolute Brahman. And Siddhi-kamis. Avoid those who desire perfection of mystic yoga practice. Conclusion. To associate with such person is not at all desirable. This is what Bhaktisiddhānta concludes. Laulyam. Ardent longing or greed. Ardent means difficult, extraordinary endeavor you have to put into something. Desire to expand the mind. But isn't that? Is that the word? What does it mean? Keen, enthusiastic, passionate, eager, devoted. Okay. Desire to expand the mind by perfection, mystic, or emerging into existence of Brahman. So this is also considered greed, unnecessary greed. Attaining whimsical material properties are all included with category of greed. No? Okay, conclusion. All attempts to acquire such material benefits or so-called spiritual advancement are impediments on the path of Krishna consciousness. Here, Krishna conscious solution for Atyahara. Modern warfare waged between capitalists and communists is due to their avoiding the advice of Rupa Goswami regarding Atyahara. Modern capitalists accumulate more wealth than necessary, and the communists, envious of their prosperity, want to nationalize all wealth and properties. So this is always, capitalists want to get everything for themselves. They want to buy everything, they want to control everything, they want to possess everything. And communists say, no, everything belongs to everyone. But both are wrong, correct? Both are wrong, both are correct. Consequently, when the wealth of the capitalists falls in the hands of communists, no solution results. Anyway, what we see failure of communism. Why? Because the idea is that everything belongs to everyone. In other words, nothing belongs to anyone. Nothing you have. Everything belongs to the nation. This is country's land, this is country's house, this is country's land. And then what happened? those rulers, administrators, they also looted. I'm born in communist country. Don't preach to me about communism. I've seen it. Then the communist leaders, they have luxurious cars, they have better houses, they have bigger salaries, they enjoy life better than the poor people. Why? Why it happens even with communists? Because they have no quality man to control the mind and senses. They cannot really hold to it. Once money comes and temptation comes, then they fall down. They can't control. They have to be sense enjoyers. Like our Marshal Tito, famous Tito and Nehru, they were very good friends. So he was leader, he was president, marshal, above president, the title is above president, marshal. This is the absolute ruler. Army, everything is under him. He has absolute rule. A dictator, basically, if you want a polite translation. So, he was marshal of communist country. And what he did, if you see, after he died, his villas are open. And you can see French liquors and perfumes, all Italian most expensive clothes, all foreign items, all items imported from capitalist country for his enjoyment. The best cars, the best food, the best everything was just like sense gratified. He did not practice communist life. He did not live like a common man, as the Communist Manifesto says. The Queen of England came and she said, if this person is communist, I'm not Queen of England. That was her comment. It was sense enjoyment because he could not resist the temptation. He could not follow. So same thing, communist or capitalist, both are just exploiting the people. Krishna conscious solution, Krishna consciousness ideology states that all wealth belongs to Krishna, 𝐒𝐞𝐬𝐬𝐢𝐨𝐧 idam Thus, unless all wealth comes under the administration of Krishna, there can be no solution to the economic problem of mankind. Example, $100 bill is lying on the street. Prabhupada gives this example. $100 bill is lying on the street. So someone may pick it up and put it in his pocket. If you find $100 bill on the street and you put it in the pocket, you are a thief. Sorry to say. Correct? And devotee, if he finds, he has to donate to temple, then he is free from all sins for temple construction. Okay, second man, he doesn't take it from the road. He says, anyway, it's not mine, I'm not the owner, I'm not the thief, I don't want to look at it. And he walks off. He is also a fool. He is not also intelligent person. And the third person comes, finds the bill and finds who is the proper owner and gives back. This is proper person. Who is proper owner of everything? Krishna. 𝐸𝐸 Everything should be used in Krishna's service. So this is the thing. By taking it and delivering it to the man who has lost it, this man is both honest and wise. The wealth of the world actually belongs to Krishna, and every living entity, man and animal, has the birthright to use God's property for his maintenance. So all of us, we have right to possess piece of land, to work on land, not to maybe possess, but at least we can work on land and earn. Grow our grains. When one takes more than maintenance required, be he a capitalist or communist, he is a thief, and as such he is liable to be punished by the laws of nature. When people learn the art of scientifically utilizing Lord's property, they will no longer encroach upon others' rights. Then an ideal society can be formed. So this is possible. Only Krishna can unite us. Only for Krishna will do things together. Correct? Now you see here, we are a small community here and we are all from different caste backgrounds, different cultures, different languages, different food habits, different dealings, different view of the world. Only because of Krishna we are able to work together. Otherwise I know some of us won't stay 5 minutes together in material world. Correct? If we are in karmic world, we may not even look at each other or we may quarrel. But as a devotee we serve together. Why? Because for higher goal we are able to adjust our lower needs or our difficulties or our differences could be overcome. So when we have proper vision, economic solution by the Shastra, by the Guru, we have a practical engagement, what to do, what not to do, how to deal, codex of morality, what is accepted in Krishna conscious society, what is not accepted. No TVs, no divorce, no sense gratification. These are our rules and we follow, and then we can live peacefully. Why? Because we all agree to obey the laws of God. Then the peace and prosperity can come. Here, he quoted Isha-Upanishad, of course, Īśvara-varṣiṇī-vṛtti, saram yat-pinchā-chikatyam chikaktena tyaktena bunchita, magrida kasya svidanam, magrida kasya svidanam. The question is right. Whose is all this property? Kasya svidanam. Whose is it? Whose it is? Belongs to whom? Īśvara-varṣiṇī-vṛtti. Belongs to Krishna. Everything animate or inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota, and should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. So now, see, the purport goes like this. Now there is given comparison of Krishna conscious devotee and materialistic people. Comparison is given. Okay. Here, Krishna conscious devotee know very well that this material world is designed by the complete arrangement of the Lord to fulfill all the necessities of life for all living beings, without their having to encroach upon the life and rights on others. So this is the Ishavasya principle. The devotees, they know, Om Purnam Adav Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. That Bhagavan is perfect, complete, Purna. When he creates material world is also Purna, complete. What is a complete in material world? Complete facilities for jivas to sustain, maintain, and facilities to worship God. Complete. And jiva has also Purna. He has complete facility to surrender to God and go back home back to God. Has this facility, ability, empowered. Just now we have to understand this and utilize the opportunity. Materialists who have neither faith in plan of God, nor any spiritual aspiration for higher spiritual development, misuse their God-given intelligence only to augment their material possessions. They devise many systems, such as capitalism and materialistic communism, to advance their material position. They are not interested in laws of God or in higher God, always anxious to fulfill their unlimited desire for sense gratification. They are conspicuous by their ability to exploit their fellow living beings. And this is what is this material life. They exploit, you are exploited. When they say, you will get something here, means they will cheat. Buy one, get one free. Means I'm charging you one, at least for 3. Because if I given you one free, means for 2 you are paying, and my profit is third one. Buy one, get one free, means pay 3. Cheating. Is it cheating? Nobody gives you anything free. Karma is only for that's also not free. You earn it with hard work. Yeah? It's cheating. Everybody exploits. Come, I will benefit you. Politicians, how many times they say, vote for me, I will help you, I will help you. How you will help me? You will help me to even this little money what I accumulated to take it away from me. That's what you will help me. Empty my account. Everyone is exploiting. This is, look at this, what is that? How to recognize materialistic person. He has a strong tendency, ability to exploit their fellow living beings. Simply you are exploited. You are exploited. Every one of us, all of us, we are exploited. Krishna conscious solution. When human society gives up these elementary faults enumerated by Śrīla Rupa Goswāmī, atyahara, prayasa and all the things, all enmity will cease between man and animals, capitalist and communist and so forth. If we can make people practice this, then there will be peace and normal functioning society. This is how society should function, not based on these rules. Okay. In addition, all problems of economic and political maladjustment and instability will be solved. Look at this. We have economic solution, we have spiritual solution, that already is clear. We have economic solution. Now we have political solution also. We can run the world, society, governments, we can govern. We have so much information to govern society. Now what we have to do? We have to show example. We have to have self-sustained farms. And we produce our own food, we live our own life with our own economic system, stability to show, an economical solution, and then call everyone. Give up cities, give up your nonsense factories, give up all this materialistic communism, capitalism. Capitalism is failure. They admit it. Communism is maha failure. They don't want to admit it. But it's failure. We have solution. We have full solution for all the problems. And these are the principles of life, that one has to base his life on these 6 things to avoid them. This pure consciousness is awakened by the proper spiritual education and practice offered scientifically by Krishna consciousness movement. And then Prabhupada concludes, this Krishna consciousness movement offers a spiritual community that can bring about peaceful condition in the world. Every intelligent man should purify his consciousness and rid himself of the above-mentioned 6 hindrances to devotional service by taking wholehearted shelter of this Krishna consciousness movement. So Prabhupada really expects us to form these Varnashram communities. Otherwise we cannot show to people economic solution. ISKCON has shelter for brahmacharis, vanaprasthas and sannyasis. For grihasthas we have no shelter yet. Unless we have a farm communities where they can actually live with families and produce their own food and live Krishna conscious life like this. Okay, this was the purport of Srila Prabhupada and included Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Thakur's Anuvṛtti commentary. So I'll stop here. We have a little break, 10-15 minutes break. 10 minutes break to a little bit, and then we will go through commentaries on this shloka. Is that okay? Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.